Hey, fourth grade friends. So today it's Module 6, Lesson 15. Again, I'm using the homework page. So my numbers are going to be a little bit different, but the format is going to be exactly what you're going to do on your problem set. I have a visual picture right here of one paper dollar is equal to 100 pennies. So when I look at this, I have 100 pennies. That's equivalent to $1. But 1 penny is equivalent to $0 and 1/100th of a dollar. It would be like right there, 1/100th. If I look across here, $1 is equal to 100/100ths of a dollar if it was in fractional form. But 1 penny would be equivalent to 1/100th of a dollar in a fraction form. If I look down here, 37 pennies would be 0.37 or 37 hundredths when it's written in a decimal point, because it would be 10, 20, 30, and then 7 more pennies. And the fractional form of 37 cents would be 37/100ths. Now, the next section would be in dimes. So we're looking at dimes. And remember, each dime is worth 10 cents. So I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So 10 dimes would be $1. And 100 cents would be 10/10ths of a dollar. So that would be equal to $1. But 2 dimes would be $0 and 20 cents, which would be 2/10ths of a dollar. And on. If I look right here, 9 dimes would be 90 cents, and 90 cents would be 9/10ths of a dollar, because I'm looking at the tenths right there. Now, looking down here at quarters, well, it always helps me to look here at quarters. At the bottom here where this dollar is, there are 4 quarters in a dollar. And when we skip count them, we say 25, 50, 75, a dollar. I went ahead and wrote the numbers down so that I wouldn't get confused. And I know that 3 quarters, 1, 2, 3, is worth 75 cents. So it's $0.75. And 75 cents in a fractional form is 75/100ths of a dollar. 2 quarters, 25/50, is 50 cents, which I write as 0.50. And 50 cents is 50/100ths of a dollar. 4 quarters, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that is an entire dollar, which is 100/100ths of a dollar. And 1 quarter is 25 cents. You'll see 1 quarter is 25 cents, which is 25/100ths of a dollar. Let me look on the other side, because we're trying to express money in amounts of fractions, and the directions say to solve and give the total amount of money in fraction and in decimal forms. So they're going to ask you to look at it and say, oh, I have 5 dimes. That's 5 dimes. So I could choose to draw those any way I want, but I know that 5 dimes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is all 10 cents. Another way that I could do that is say, well, 5 times 10 is 50. So I have 50 cents in dimes, and I have 8 cents in pennies. Well, 50 cents plus 8 cents is going to be 58 cents. Well, I know that it's written 0.58 in decimal form, and in the fractional form, it would be 58/100ths. This would be your answer right here. 3 quarters, I did the same thing up here. I wrote 25, 50, 75, 100, just to help you remember that 3 quarters is 75 cents. So that's written in decimal form like that, and in fractional form like that. 13 pennies, well, 13 pennies is going to be written 0.13 because it's 13 hundredths, and it would be written 13 hundredths down here. So you would simply add that up. That would be 88/100ths, or it would be 0.88 up here. So here is the fractional form of the decimal form of that problem, and here is the fractional form, because altogether it would be 88 cents. If I look right down here, it says 187 cents is what fraction of a dollar? Well, 187/100ths. Well, I'm going to make a number bond with that, because that's how we've been doing it. This is 100/100ths, and 87 100ths. And I know that that 100/100th is going to be equivalent to 1. So 187/100ths is 1.87. That's the decimal form. This is the fractional form. This is the decimal form. It would be 187 cents, but that's what it would look like in its decimal form. So if you look at the bottom right here, I've got $1, 2 dimes, 13 pennies, plus $2.75. So you're just going to take it apart and start to add them together. $1, that's 1.00. 2 dimes, that's 0.20. 13 pennies, that's 0.13. So I could add all of those up. Plus $2, that's 2.00, plus 3/4. Well, 3/4 is 25, 50, 75. So that would be 0.75. So I'm going to find a way to add all of those up. I'm going to add $1 and $2 right now. So that's $3 right there. And then I've got 2 tenths, 1/10, 7/10. And I've got 300ths and 800ths. Now, for me, I find it easiest to line them up like this. You can line them up however you want, but for me, I find it easier to do this. Now I'm going to keep my decimal in the right place there, and if I add up all of these tenths and hundredths, I'm going to end up with 1 and 800ths. So I've got 3 plus 1 and 800ths, and the total answer would be 4 and 800ths. You can choose to write it that way, or you can choose to write 4 and 800ths if you chose to do it as a fraction. The money would be written like that though, $4.08. So you're going to just take all of these apart. $2.06, $2 plus 6 dimes would be 0.60, plus $2 plus 2/4 would be 0.50, because 2/4 is 50 cents, plus 16 pennies, which would be 0.16, and add them all up, and what to figure out what that collection would be. $8 would be $8, plus 8 dimes, which would be 80 cents, plus $7, plus 1/4, plus 8 dimes, which would be 80 cents. And then you'll add all of those up to have an amount of money that'll be some amount of money with a decimal. All right, let us know how that goes.